So the idea for the week that I have for you is to talk about basically emotional intelligence and cognitive and thoughts and facts, that part of our brain, the cognitive part of our brain. And I've talked about this before. I've talked about how we generally will fall on one side or the other, overly emotional, overly cognitive, and the issues that come from that. And while that's still true, what I want to talk about is how these parts actually are in cooperation with each other. There's ways that how we use both of these important parts of ourselves can help us create the highest quality life that we want to have, help us build connections, help us create situations where we can persuade people in things, see things, and guide them into places that we are not able to do if we don't have a good balance and ratio of intelligence and emotional capacity or ability to empathize. So the deal is, it's important for us to be able to read people in situations where I'm connecting with someone or I'm with someone, I'm talking about something that's important, maybe intense, and if I'm not noticing that the situation is escalating or changing or that they're having a negative reaction and I don't course correct, then I'm going to miss the boat. I'm not going to be able to create what it is I want to create, and I'm not be able to do what I want to do. This is in business. This is in personal relationships and intimate relationships. And the classic thing that I want to share with you is that we're missing, we're ships passing in the night. We've all probably been in that situation where someone is sharing with us how they feel, what's going on in their lives, and we immediately go into problem solving. Cognitive, do this, do that, take care of this, and there's this big miss, and they don't feel heard, and we feel like they're not listening to us. And that is this problem that I'm talking about, is we're not sensitive enough to recognize they may not be wanting us to fix something. They might not be wanting us to bring in this cognitive part of ourselves. They're wanting to more share what their experience is. And experiences are the combination of, usually they're the combination. Sometimes we're dropped so deeply into our emotions that they're running the show. But experiences are more connected to our emotions. And so the thing that's going on here is also in people that are overly emotional, which is not me, I've never been that, is that engaging the cognitive part of ourselves, slowing down and doing some critical thinking can help us to talk ourselves off the cliff, off the ledge. Because what happens is, if I understand that I'm upset, I'm feeling sensations that are connected to stories and information and messages, I can begin to see if that's actually true. If what the story I'm telling myself is bullshit, or if it's actually happening. Emotions are amazing in that they're pretty fast. The neural pathways and the whole processes in our being are pretty fast. And the trick in slowing that down, which, that's also sometimes not a good thing. Sometimes we need to act. But for the most part, I think it's important we slow down and we look at, is this true? Are there other options for me in this situation for how I experience it and how I feel about it, by using the cognitive part of me to tease it apart and to see if this is an old story that I've continued to harbor and I've adopted and was imprinted and needs to be updated. And I can make a different choice with how I interpret this situation and this experience. And it takes work to do that over and over and over until that system is updated. And I think that's a lifelong process. So you probably better get started now if you haven't already. But that is where mastery of emotional intelligence is looking at the combination of all these things and updating our system with how we interpret data, and then it creates certain sensations and emotions and things going on inside of us. So this opportunity that I have for you this week is actually do that, kind of work yourself through like a body scan. And if you're not doing this on a regular basis and you don't have a strong ability to navigate yourself through this, just start here, okay? And I hope that all of us are experiencing strong and intense emotions. That's what life is about. But the way that we interpret them and how we shape our lives by that through that experience is the quality is raised by us slowing down, sitting down, close your eyes, and just kind of check in with like what's going on inside you. If you can do this while you're live and in motion with some situation, traffic, or a intense conversation, and then you don't necessarily have to close your eyes, but what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? What are the messages that are attached to that feeling or that sensation? And then going through and looking to see, is this the only story that could be used, the only perspective that could be interpreted by this sensation? Another common one is, in this situation, is I'm afraid, or I'm actually might be excited. It's titillating. I don't know what. But it's up to you to update the choices and the options, and then the choice you make in how you interpret sensations going on. So the ability to find those other interpretations for the information and the messages that are connected to the things you feel that's money. That's what that is for you.